Rogue Record.
What's up, everybody? You're listening to Hustle Makes It Happen, a podcast about the grit, the determination, and the mindset that it takes to become a winner. Success is not an accident. It lives outside your comfort zone, in the trenches, where excuses are met by brick walls. So strap in, tighten up, and let's get ready to hustle.
What's up, hustlers?
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Hey, look, we're trying something new out, so bear with us if it's not working out. But first of all, we need to give a little update on life and kind of where we're at in general. So we've got a lot going on right now, and you've heard us say in a couple episodes before that we weren't going to let distractions and things keep us away from what's important to us in life. And those to us right now are our business, our family, and you guys, right? So maybe not in that order. I think family, business, and then you guys if my wife's watching. But with that comes some challenges, right? We're out here hustling. This is real life, guys. Like the things that we talk about are the things that we live every single day. So we're out in the world hustling, and whenever that happens, in order to not take away from other things that are important, you got to kind of figure out how to twist things and mold things and make them work if you want to keep doing them. And we made you guys a promise that we were going to continue to bring you good content, which we aim to do. But how we're going to do that is through some shorter episodes, a little lighter content, some stuff that we can just come in, pop in, get out to you guys so you can hear our thoughts on different topics. We promise you some sprints. These are those sprints. I feel like I'm rambling at this point.
No, that's it, man. It's just really trying to still bring you good content while we're figuring out the logistics of our life, our business, our families, and putting all that together so that we can still deliver good product to you guys and to still be sitting in the lab with each other, brainstorming about the things that we feel are important in society. And that's it. So this is the first one. This is our first sprint that we're bringing to you guys, and they're going to be subject-based for the most part. Today, something that we feel it probably has spurred this to come forward is adversity. Things that smack you in the face, come to your plate that were unexpected. You might have to dig under, go around, jump over, and finding out how to get around them, how to mentally prepare for them, how to deal with them on the front end, the back end, through the storm, those type of things. So that's something that's today's topic is adversity. And we want to bring some of our thoughts and how we deal with those things and maybe give us some feedback, comments, messages, how you deal with it. And maybe we'll bring that up on another show on some of the things that you do to deal with your adversity.
Yeah, for me, man, it's about shifting just like this. Like it's very difficult for us right now to get into the studio, to get, go carve out 2 or 3 hours to get in the studio. It's difficult for us right now to deconflict my schedule, your schedule, schedules we have with potential guests. Like all that's difficult, right? These are challenges. These are obstacles that we talk about week in and week out on our normal full-length episodes. But I think what's helped me the most, and I think you're going to agree with this because you say it to me all the time, is that we just got to shift gears. That's like you're saying, let's just shift gears. Yep. So why don't you explain that a little bit, since it's your mantra? Like you're always talking about shifting gears or catching the next gear or whatever. Whenever adversity comes out at you, why do you look at it as shifting gears? Why is that important?
It's not sitting in the panic, because a lot of people panic. And when I've done it in previous life, but I've become more even keeled where basically that lane and that gear is done. You're at the rev limiter of third gear, and I'm sitting there and we're not moving anymore. We're not going any faster, but we're hitting the pedal, but nothing's happening. And that's how I'm translating that to how I look at life. Like we're good, but we need to get to the next gear to keep moving forward, because third gear is only giving us so much more to push.
Yeah.
And then what happens when you hit that rev limiter, shit starts breaking Engines fired up, and I translate those things mentally to your life. The engine starts overheating, your wife is mad, right? And this is all out of context, but you know, financials, logistics, things that you have to grab the next gear and figure those lanes out to what's going to happen, how you plan on tackling them, but staying calm and not getting overworked is, I think, the most important thing about fighting or figuring out adversity.
Yeah. I'm learning this, like I've talked at length about this personal development journey being this iterative process, right? Where you're taking steps and then you learn some new tricks and you take another step and you learn some new tricks and you take another step. But through doing this podcast, running our business, trying to be a good father, a good husband, a good Christian man, you are going to have adversity. Like I'm a planner too, and you know this. I will try to plan out everything to the most minute level of detail if I can. And I'm going to continue to do that. What I'm fixing to say is not me saying, well, you shouldn't make plans, you shouldn't do all these things, but even, there's probably a song lyric, even the best laid plans fall apart most of the time. And while I do think that's partially true, I think if you just expect adversity and you mentally prepare yourself for things not going right, and maybe you're not making all these contingency plans or spinning the wheels, not getting started because you're afraid of adversity, but you're really good at just when things happen, it just happens. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. Maybe you have this, like, it doesn't happen to me mentality, it happens for me mentality. But
no, I'm fluid. I try to be fluid in those situations where I'm not stuck on that one
course of action, or whatever.
One course, because if it hooks the right or hooks the left or hits the brakes, like, I'm just gonna. I mean, if that car breaks down, I'm getting out of it, and I'm figuring out how I'm going to stay moving. I read something recently in a blog. Have you ever heard of the cow and the buffalo metaphor?
No, I know the old bull and the young bull, but not the cow and the buffalo.
So they're talking about, and this is truly, and I feel like it translates into our lives, everybody that's listening's lives. They say that when a storm is coming, the buffalo, they all sense it as animals, and the buffaloes run straight to the storm and straight through it, not prolonging anything. They just run straight into it and get out the other side. And the cow does exactly the opposite. They see it, they sense it, and they start running the opposite direction to avoid the storm. But the storm is just literally coming up, and they're exhausting their energy and life, and they're running away. And the storm just comes on top of them and just follows them and eventually passes over them. But they've prolonged the suffering and the effort because they didn't face that head on.
Right. Dude, that's no, I've never heard that. And that's pretty powerful, though. It's a really good metaphor for just charging into things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's not saying that I'm not saying just go head first and just like not have a plan.
Yeah, be reckless.
But running away from, that book. And if you haven't read it, because I've read it, I can check it. Obstacle is the way. Like, that is it. I'm not saying that everything, not everything is going to be like, oh, I have to go tackle every single thing in my life. But usually, like, you're looking at this obstacle or adversity that's facing you, usually running away from it is not the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, I think if you're committed to something, right? Like, we're committed to our business. We're committed to the podcast. We're committed to our families. If it's something that's in your like top 3 priorities in life, regardless of what the obstacles are, like, you have to fight those, right? But if it's not in one of those priorities in your life, maybe those are the ones that you can sidestep or try to figure out a way around or let pass. We talk about not giving up and not quitting, and there's a huge difference in quitting on yourself and quitting because it's not the best thing for you, right? If you're trying a new venture and there's just too many obstacles and they're just one after the other and unsurpassable, and you've tried every different avenue and different approach. Maybe it's just time to give that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like saying you're trying to put a circle in a square box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some things just don't fit.
They just don't fit, and it's not for you. That's not quitting. It's figuring out that that's not your lane. You know, the Cajun Ninja says that, man, you got to keep trying stuff, and when it sticks, double down on it, right?
Yeah.
And that's those type of things. But when adversity, you know, I'm going through some health things in my life that I've never faced before. And it's from probably years of beating the ever living shit out of my body when I was younger and not caring. But, you know, I'm facing those things now. And I'm not used to that mentally, not being able to go like fully exhaust myself in the gym as I have for years, and in more of a correct manner too. The last 10 years is like being aware of my body and proper movement and like doing that. Like I feel good, but now it's funny. I'm 40, getting older, and the things that I did previous in like, you know, on the first end of my life are kind of catching up with me, and I have to face those things now. But the adversity I fight is not being able to live the life like I've been living, giving myself my outlet that I've been constantly doing for the last, 15 years of working out and pushing myself to that mental, physical exhaustion. I can't do that right now. And I have to figure out, how do I deal with that? Like what enters that space then, right? I mean, I could go into depression, and I'm not saying I haven't felt those things, because I have, but like, where's the light? What do I focus on that's going to help elevate myself to get me through this little bit of a chapter of my life?
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be okay, right?
So what is it then?
For me, it's been focusing on my family a lot, and not that I wasn't before, but really diving into my kids, and my wife. My wife is knocking shit down right now, and I'm like super proud of her. She's like taking some steps she's becoming more like outspoken of like what she wants and what she's worth, and like super proud of her for that. And then my kids, man, they're just trying to be little strong humans, man. You know, Nixon's in wrestling, and he's got soccer, and he's on his off days. He's out there like practicing his skill sets, and that makes me super proud as a dad, and to be out there with him, trying to help him. My daughter, you know, she's in volleyball. She's kind of carving her lane in weightlifting and doing her thing. So I've been like really focused on that. And then I have an 8-month-old. So trying to be real present in that. And then our business, the things that are coming to light and things that are offering themselves to the table in lanes. Like, I don't want to pass those things by, but I also want to build the brand and things that we've done with that to the next level. I want to grab the next gear. I don't want to sit stagnant. So something that started off as like, this is going to be like cool side hustle money, turned into like a company that I want to turn into an enterprise that can turn into a retirement, right?
Yeah. So you're filling that void with other things of value, right? And trying to stay away from the things that are not adding value. So you're putting your time and your focus in your family and your other work, right?
Yeah.
So how does that relate back to adversity and overcoming it?
That's where I'm focusing my void of like where I would be more selfish on the things that I would like be doing for myself. And I'm putting them in things that I care just as much about as myself is in life, kids, wife, business. So I think it's grabbing something, and that's just my situation, you know. So everybody's different, but I had a void that's like I hit a roadblock, like my physical and emotional like dump that I would normally be able to have. I don't have it right now. So like I had to find like, what do I emotionally and physically put myself in? And that's like further my kids and my wife.
Yeah. Well, you said that was your situation, but the premise remains the same. And that's kind of what I was drawing out right there is whenever you run into adversity, whatever that roadblock is, you have to take the energy that was behind that momentum. Like whenever you ran into that roadblock, you had some momentum in a direction. Otherwise, it's not a roadblock. You know what I'm saying? So you've got this momentum going in a direction and you face adversity or some type of roadblock on that path. the best thing to do, in my opinion, is just take that energy that was directed down path A and figure out where path B is going and put that same energy behind path B. That way, adversity and roadblocks they're not really a thing, right? They're just changes in course en route to the same destination.
And that's what I'm using mentally.
Yeah.
Like, because at first, for me, the way I looked at that adversity of like, I'm not able to work out and emotionally, physically dump my body like I used to. So now I'm just knowing that I've literally thought, even on the ride here, this is just a phase of my life that I'm going to go through. And then I'm going to get back to grinding in my own way. And that might change. How I physically dump myself, like, might change a little bit on the back
maybe
end
you're
of
not
this.
doing CrossFit 5 days a week, but you're swimming or biking long distance or whatever.
But guess what? That's a new chapter.
That's right.
That I have to go dive into and figure out. Like, and to me, man, it's almost fun. Like, thinking about what's
like
in the
what
future.
could be over there.
Yeah, like
what
what's
could
over
that
there.
be like?
And I think like I said, man, mindset, how you're looking at it, like how are you dealing with it? Because look, first couple weeks, depressed, pissed off, mad. But I mean, and that's where I think the difference is the mindset. Like, how are you thinking about it?
Yeah.
Because people could go to what? Drugs, alcohol, depression. I mean, just treating other people like shit because they feel like shit. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that on anybody else. So I'm trying to stay positive, put myself in a better situation mentally, surround myself with good people, still talk about life, love, failures, like keep that circle the same. Don't change any of that.
Yeah. And then just as you hit these roadblocks in life, not just for your situation, but for everybody that's running into roadblocks in their life, like just keep that same energy and apply it to something else, right?
Run into the storm, man.
Yeah, just be like the buffalo, bro. Face the storm and run into it. I love that.
Run into the storm. Man. Yeah. But look, this wasn't about like my personal thing, but you know, those are things, it just brought it out because I'm dealing with some of those things, and everybody deals with adversity. You know, a boss, you know, somebody that's, you know, you got a new boss that comes in, that one leaves and comes in and everything was cush, and now this guy's like hammering you, right? I mean, that's adversity. You're like, man, this guy's asking 20 more things of me that I've never done before. Mm-hmm. You're facing some roadblocks for yourself professionally that you might not have ever had before, and he's kind of hard on you. You got to figure out how to navigate that.
Yeah, but the only way to do that is to keep looking for angles, right?
Yeah.
It's to keep looking for the route that goes in the same direction.
Yeah.
That's why I like that. You know, the buffalo facing and run to the storm, that's awesome. But how you put it as a roadblock and like catching that next lane is the same thing, because all the roads are leading to the same destination. Yeah. You just got to find the one around the obstacle. That's it. Just go around it. You know, if you can't go through it, you can't go over it. Freaking go around it, right?
Don't turn around and run from it.
Yeah, don't run from it. Don't be like the cow. Well, that was fun. I think I'm gonna like these sprints more than I was giving myself credit for.
Yeah, man. And to everybody, look, we're gonna try to grab different genres of mental mindset and just doing a little 15, 20, 25 minute little clip and just putting it out. And look, we might buy another mic in here, and we might have somebody else come join us and talk some shit with us and put it out on the airways when we can get them. But we're going to continue this for a little while. You might see me, just to let you know, in the near future. Might look a little different. I might be wearing some hardware. And if it is, look,
some swag.
Yeah. don't Photoshop me and put me weird on different shit. But that's it, man. It's always a pleasure to be able to speak to people, to everybody that like gives us a shout out in the real world where we're always moving and shaking and everything's happening at full speed. Thank you for saying, we love what you guys are saying and doing, and the people that you're having on and you're learning stuff. Cause we're learning just as much, and it lets us know that we're doing the right thing.
Dude, I want to say this too. You know, we're talking about catching different avenues, and I think this kind of fits in. So we've got, like I said at the beginning of the episode, a lot going on in business. I mean, you got stuff going on in your personal life with your, you know, with your health and all that. And then we just like everything's kind of culminating at one time, right? This is adversity, it's real life adversity. Yep. I can't tell you how many people just over the last 2 weeks since we've kind of started formulating and talking about all these things that are going on, we considered like just kind of shit canning the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We considered like, look, we just don't have time for this right now. We're not gonna be able to make it work. Let's put it to the side. Since those conversations started being had between you and I, dude, probably 50 to 100 people have talked to me either in person or reached out or messaged on freaking YouTube or social media or whatever, telling us how much value they're getting out of this. And those conversations are what I think have forced us to figure out how to do this thing.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys that are listening to this have more of an influence on us than I think you realize. And I want to say thank you for that. That's
I mean, I had a conversation with an individual day before yesterday. We were literally in the midst of 50, 60 people at a wrestling match, and me and him were talking mental mindset and life, and he literally said, "I'm about to hang up my job because I hate it." He said, I'm doing my last job that I have on the books, and I'm going to figure out life. And he's like, he wasn't saying it was to tribute to us, but he's like, I need to find what I want to do. And he called me Friday, I think, and said, my last job on the books is ending next week, and I just got the largest contract for a different genre work that I've ever received in my whole life. He's like, God works in mysterious ways, and like he's overjoyed and happy about like everything happens for a reason. But like he reached out to me, and we had like a 30-minute conversation about, finding that, and it landed in his lap, and how much it means to him. And I don't know, man, those moments, like now me and him talk like fairly regularly now, but it all spurred from here in this podcast.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I don't ever want to quit doing it. I've said that forever. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and things come and go, and seasons pass in life. But man, this is one that I hope we can hold on to forever. And I think these sprints are going to allow us to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And please reach out. Don't stop. Give us topics.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm gonna formulate myself, and me and Justin. We don't just come in here and wing it. We kind of look at how we want to steer this and the topics that we want to crush in here. So
that's it, baby. First sprint in the books.
All right.
That's it, guys. It's another episode. Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. Remember, till next time, keep your head down, keep your eye on the ball. Hustle makes it happen, but most importantly, have fun. Later.